What is up, guys? My name is Andrew and welcome back to Space Engineers Let's Play. We're on the moon and it's episode number 5 of season number 2. Last episode we built this really cool half-complete hangar. So the nanites are slowly going in and actually fixing everything up, which is super awesome. I definitely do like the nanites. They're so cool. And they're working a little bit better now that we got these power upgrades set, and I think we did that also last episode. So this episode, I do want to complete the hangar, get that kind of set up, and I also want to create a rover, because we did promise that last episode, and we never actually got to it. So let's, real quick, before we do anything, let's check on our power. Oh, you know what? Let me turn my crosshair back on. I always forget, because when I'm recording for instance, I put up The Door, which is a cinematic short, I guess, for Space Engineers. I had to turn off the crosshair to record. So I always forget to put it back on. It looks like we're also almost out of oxygen, so it's a very good thing that we checked this. Let's go to our this thing, which does not have any oxygen or anything like that, so we're gonna have to go back to our ship to refill those bottles, but well, at least refill our power here since we can. Now that we have this thing. Now for this base, because it uses nanites and nanites are extremely power hungry, I think we're going to require a couple of these things. So maybe we're going to kind of keep this area free here so that we can eventually kind of expand this room kind of that way a little bit and maybe have one nuclear reactor, another nuclear reactor, and if we need it, even a third nuclear reactor. We'll decide later, because remember, we want this base to be kind of gigantic. So, but real quick, let's hop back on it over here. We'll go and check on the... we're not going to check on anything. Actually, oh, it pushed me back. Actually, we can use this right here. So let's go and put our stuff in these things. And it's going to kind of get dragged by stuff. Now we want to search for hydrogen bottle. We want 100%. Anything that's got 100% is what we want. It looks like it's not actually filling up with hydrogen. So are we out of hydrogen, or did we turn off the ship? I don't know which one we did, but I think we're probably out of hydrogen. Let me check oxygen. Oxygen bottles, we have 0, 0, 0, 0. Looks like we do have a couple of 100% over here inside this oxygen tank. Let me real quick grab these guys and bring them into an oxygen tank manually, because I think, let me double check real quick. I think they might all be out, or maybe they're just not on refill. I don't know. Let me real quick search for oxygen tanks in our control panel. Oxygen tanks. We're going to take all of these and we're going to make it so that they can auto refill. And we're going to do the same with the hydrogen tanks. Gen tanks. There we go. Take all of these and make sure that they can auto refill, because I think they weren't able to do that. And now let's check these. Stick them in an oxygen tank. There we go. That's exactly what we want to see. So stick these back into an oxygen tank. It looks like the oxygen generators were grabbing these, which is not what we really want. Let's do the same for hydrogen. Hydrogen. These are in a connector. We can stick them in a tank for them to refill, and we should have a couple of nice full hydrogen tanks at our disposal. We're gonna grab we might want to carry 2, but let's carry 2 of each. How about that, just so that we still have enough room to do stuff. Okay, so to complete this, like I said, we're not gonna, well, not like I said, but I'll say it anyway, we're not going to actually go ahead and fill in all these blocks, because the nanites are going to do that for us. We don't have to worry about that. All we have to worry about is making sure that we actually have the materials in here. So for instance, steel plates, do we have a bunch? No, we do not. So let's go to production and let's say make. So then the nanites will be able to run around and complete stuff. But for us, what we want to focus on is instead just building the roof out and that sort of thing. So we have 15 of these. We're going to want a couple more. Let's go ahead and grab a couple before the nanites snag them, which they will do if I let them. Steel plates. Looks like we have another 40 right there. Another couple billion right here. 150 should be good. So we're gonna make a roof. I want to go one level higher than what we have currently, and then we'll make the roof right here at this level. So this level is going to go all the way across. And you know, I really wish there was some sort of projection tool that I could use for nanites, so that I could tell them, hey, build this entire roof right here, without having to actually go and place every individual block. But unfortunately we cannot do that. So we're going to place this roof down, and then we're going to start building the rover, and we will get to it this time, even though last episode we did not. Don't worry, it's going to happen. It will happen indeed. So we're going to place the outer perimeter first, and then we're going to go for the interior side of things. I haven't really decided on what technique I want to go on yet. I've got all these techniques of building. Like there's the spiral technique, which is what I'm doing right now. If I were to continue like this, I can just keep going like this. That's the spiral technique. There's also the line technique, which might be a little faster. You go like boom, 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 boom. And you just keep going along the line. Then once you reach the end, you back up one, and go back. All these survival techniques to speed up your building process. So So I haven't really thought about it that much in depth. I'm just talking out of my buttocks to make up for lost time. Looks like the nanites are completing stuff. That's good. That is definitely good. But this is tedious. But it's got to be done. It must be done. Maybe there's a mod that I could use for this. Or I could just go into creative and create this as a projection. But I don't know if I could then... Oh, we're out of these things. I don't know if I could then use the projection and have it still connect to the base. So I'm not going to do that. But steel plates. Steel plates, we got a bunch of them over here. A couple hundred. I reckon we'll probably need about 200 more to complete this operation. So let's get 200 steel plates by doing this over and over before the nanites steal them, because they will. All right, there we go. 215. And I told the nanites not to use the assemblers. Maybe that was a bad. I probably should have told them that they can if they want to. But the reason I don't want them doing that is because then all of my iron and all of my stuff is just going to be used up. And I don't really like going on a mining expedition, then coming back to find that everything that I worked for is just gone. I mean, it's not just gone. I mean, it's used on the stuff I want it to be used on, but still. I don't know. It's at first it's kind of a bit tedious when you have to do that sort of thing. Now we're missing a couple of blocks, but we will get them as we come back. And oh, that's not one we want. But we're almost there, guys. Don't worry. It will be another 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. There we go. It's done. Okay, now for the rover, because we do want to create that. And those guys, we'll let them just continue to do that, continue to build. And let me, just to get an idea of how fast they're using stuff, let me go in here and real quick see. Okay, so we still have a bunch more of those things. And what we might be better off doing is creating a couple more of these. All it needs is steel plates, so might as well, right? Since we probably have those in our inventory. Nope, we don't have enough. But we should be able to grab a couple of them from here. The nanites just steal those. No pun intended. Get it? Steal. Did the nanites steal those? I don't know. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good pun. It was a fantastic pun. And we don't want that, actually. Okay, that should give us at least one. Yep, there's one. And can we get the second one? We can indeed get the second one. Awesome. So we're going to set these guys to follow along mode. And these ones as well to follow along mode. And they should start working on steel plates once they get their first job. Nope, they're not working on steel plates for some reason. Assembler. You know what? I bet you it's because they're not connected. Are they not connected in the back? Yep, that is exactly right. They're not connected. Do we have any interior plates? We do have a couple. Did we just not grab them? They're inside this connector. Oh, where's that connector? It's on the base somewhere, but we can't grab from it. I guess this right here. We'll try and grab from it. Yeah, there we go. We can grab from it there. Oh, because oh my god, I'm dumb. It's obvious because it's not actually connected. But let's fix that right now. There we go. And for the next one, just so that we don't have to worry about this, let's do that. And we'll keep going along the line. And the nanites will eventually get this because we have the materials for this stuff. Oops, that's one too short. One more. You see the nanites are working hard. There we go. That should be all of them connected, so these guys should start getting their first tasks any second now. If they're, I mean, I don't know if they're actually built yet, but let's see. Oops. Oh well, I guess that's gonna get built. We'll just let these guys finish this stuff up. The nanites will do it. Let's go and build our rover. So I'm not really good at building rovers, and I don't really know what I want this rover to be used for. Maybe just like to drive around, as like kind of a test rover, but or maybe it could be used for transporting materials. I don't know. I mean, I don't really think rovers are too great in the game, but at least they're cool. So let's go ahead and start with our first thing that we always start with, which is going to be a landing gear, which we can find in somewhere. I guess we may not have landing gear. There we go. Number 9. We're going to start with a landing gear on the ground right about here. And we're not going to complete it. We're going to do our same technique that we do usually for ships, except we're going to do it a little bit lower to the ground so that we have some room. Now it's going to be kind of a small rover. I think probably something like this. we're going to have a 3 wide kind of base. So there's 1, 2, and then we'll have a third right here. Maybe we'll put guns on this thing. Oh, if we're going to put guns, we might want it to be a little bit bigger. But yeah, if we might put guns. We'll see. Let's fix this stuff up because this is going to be our actual rover's body. Okay. Now we're going to add some wheels. Actually, you know what? Let's see. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. Okay, no, we're good. We're gonna add some wheels. We're gonna go with the. I'm thinking about going with a bigger wheel. So I was thinking originally of going with the 3x3, but I might go with the 5x5. So we'll go with wheel. We're gonna grab the one that has everything, and we're gonna put it right there. And then we can use the 5x5 maybe to make a bigger kind of rover. And we'll stick it like this. We're gonna stick it on the front. Nope, it can't place the wheel. Okay, that's a problem. Is it too low? Yeah, it's probably too low for the 5x5. We might use 3x3, but I really want to use 5x5 because I don't think the 3x3 will be able to get over that bump over there. So we're going to have to rethink our strategy here. But no worries. We'll just go up like 2 more blocks, and then we should be able to place it. We'll do a test as well before we try. Okay, so 1, 2, and let's see if this will work for our wheel. Or 2. We still have the 5x5s, right? Swap this around, and there we go. Yep, it does have the wheel. Awesome. But we have to flip it the other way because it looks weird that way. Come on, there we go. Okay, we're going to remake the same thing, so just out a little bit this way. 1 more maybe. And then out a couple ways this way. And the same thing on the other side as well. Now we're going to stick the wheels on, which are here. We're going to flop them around the other way, so down, and then we're going to actually we're going to see if that works. Let's see. Yeah, that's what we want pretty much. So flop that one that way. And is that a bit close if I were to put it right there? Maybe I want to go back a little bit more to make the rover a little bit longer. I think that might be the way to go. So we'll go back like maybe 4 or 5 blocks. Maybe 5. How far is that? Let's go back a couple more. That still looks a bit close, in my opinion. All right, let's see what this looks like. Put that one right there. That looks pretty good. That actually looks like a decent length. It could carry a couple of things, a couple of whatever they're called, the cargo containers. So maybe not a bad idea. We have to go out 1 more actually for these. And in fact, do you guys look weird as well? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Just because it takes up 2 blocks. Let's put that there. There we go. And then we'll put this one right here. Awesome. We now have the beginnings of a rover. Looking good. So now that we have the wheels kind of set up, what are we going to want on the rover? We're probably going to want some sort of cargo container so that we can carry things. I'm thinking maybe since rovers can typically carry more than a ship because they don't have to actually stay up, we might want to put like maybe a large cargo container here to be able to store materials, so we could have it drive down to a mine that's maybe kind of far away, and then we could actually carry materials back with it. I don't know, just an idea. Let's go over number 2, and I think we have large cargo containers already here, and then we're going to place one of these babies on like this, I think, maybe right in the back like that. 1, we can go with 2 maybe. So it's going to primarily be just like a storage thing. So it's going to carry a lot of stuff. We're also going to place a large reactor on here. And the reason I want to place a large reactor instead of a small one, or batteries, for instance, is because we can't really connect this to anything. We can stick a connector on and we can try and connect it to something on the back, but it'll be a little bit awkward, I think. So unless we stick a connector on the bottom, which we could totally do, but once again, I think this might be the best approach. And we're going to want this to be kind of a manned operation. So we're going to put like a cockpit on the front, which we have right here. We're going to have our little manned rover. There we go. It's looking pretty good, I think. It's got its power source. It's got its thing right there. We're going to need some gyros, which we'll probably go with 2 maybe. And we'll start with 1. We'll add a second one if we need it. As far as batteries are concerned, we don't really need any batteries, so we're not going to use them. Although we could certainly if we wanted to. Let's see, for lights, we're going to add some lights on the front. So actually we'll add the lights at the end. How about that? We're also going to want some, we're going to want some, what are they called? Probably some ore detectors. That'd be kind of nice to have a little ore detector on it. So let's see if we can find that. We have that as number 4, I think. It's going to be our ore detector. Stick that on the bottom probably would be the best place for that, because it's closer to the ores. We're also going to want some thrusters, which is kind of a weird thing if you've never built a rover before, that you would want thrusters, but we're going to want them primarily because we want to be able to if we're in a bit of a pickle, we want to be able to launch our ship forward if it's going a bit slowly. So we're going to put some thrusters kind of on the back, I think, and I kind of want to put them here. One to the side right there and one to the side right here, just kind of from each other. And if we have problems with these two or with this placement, we'll go back in and we'll change it. Okay, I think that's going to be good. Let's go ahead and weld all of our stuff. It looks like we need a bunch of interior plates, displays, and that sort of thing. But let's start with everything that requires steel plates, which is most of it, but some of it doesn't. Oh, I forgot to weld these blocks in. Well, good thing it's really high. I'll just go under and weld. No. That is how you do it. This is how we do it. Luckily, they only require one steel plate, so we don't actually have to have any steel plates to be able to weld these. This is how we do it. All right. How's that looking? That's looking pretty good. We have those couple ones up there that we can't really weld, but I think it's going to be fine. I really want to try and weld them, but here, let's break the ore detector for now, because it's going to bother me. And then I kind of want to break this as well. Let's see what happens. The wheels are going to... I don't know how weird the wheels are going to be because they aren't yet built, but hopefully they'll just kind of stay in place and be fine. Right, we need to add the ore detector on later because I just used up the steel plates that it took for that. We're going to go and grab a bunch of steel plates, a bunch of interior plates, a bunch of everything pretty much. So starting with steel plates, or well, I guess starting with interior plates, because we don't have any steel plates. We'll grab a bunch of interior plates. I don't think we need that many, but we're going to need some reactor components. We're going to need some large steel tubes. We don't really have much over here, do we? I think we really need to get our assemblers up and running. That's one wheel. Small steel tubes as well, apparently. You need computers, motors, and displays, as do you. You also need construction components, actually. But we're good on reactor components here, so that's definitely good. I'm just trying to get everything sorted with the large steel tubes since that's the heaviest thing that we need. So we need steel plates, motors, small steel tubes, construction components, and computers and displays. And I think that might be everything that we need. We'll go and grab some of that stuff. We're also going to set more steel plates to be made. So, for instance, boom, make me like that many. That would be a good number. Small steel tubes, make me a couple of those as well, just because we're going to need them in a second. So displays, we're going to need at least, I'd say 20. So there's that. We don't need those anymore. We will need one detector component. We don't need that many for that thing. So steel plates, grab those. Small steel tubes, this thing, computer. Oops. Computer. We don't have any computers. Let's swap that to the front of the construction real quick so we can make just a couple of them that we can grab. Grab the computers and the small things. All right, and then we're going to move this to the front as well because we do need a couple of those. And I think that's going to be most of what we need. So let's go back in here and grab a couple of steel plates as well. Yeah, I saw you grabbing that stuff, Nanite Control Factory. I see you over there. Nanites are funny. All right, that should be most of what we need for this thing, and then maybe just a couple more things that I forgot about. Good for that. Construction components, right. Metal grids, construction components. We don't really need the bulletproof glass unless we're worrying about getting shot. Which we might in the future. We'll see. You're good. It looks like the nanites are trying to fix all this stuff, which is kind of cool. Thank you, nanites. Being very helpful. Last thing we need is construction components. Energy is low. It's at 25%, which means we have some room. But construction components. We have a bunch. Awesome. And then this thing should be almost ready to fly. Oh, I've actually forgotten about that. Wow. Oh, metal grids. Yeah, that's the other thing. Add these thrusters. There we go. And okay, last thing we need. Thruster components, large steel tube, metal grid, and everything. Wow. Oops, that hurt. Okay, so thruster components, which we do not have on here. Metal grid, which I need maybe just a little bit of. Probably I'd take 20, and that should be good. I think it was 7 is the number we need, but I don't actually remember. We're gonna grab some motors. We have construction components. We're gonna grab some interior plates. I don't know that we need them. Large steel tubes. We'll grab like 10. Thruster. No, we're gonna have to go to the ship for that. Okay, and I know we probably need motors as well for this thing. All right, that's good. Thruster components we need there. Okay, so the last things we need are thruster components and steel plates and computers. Thruster component, steel plate, computer. Gotcha. Okay, this should be everything that we need to fix everything up. So here's these. Awesome. Here's this. Awesome. And here's this. Awesome. Next, we need some uranium. And we need to refill our power because our power is going low, which is not good. So let's refill that real quick, and then we'll go and grab some of the good old uranium to power our rover, which will be kind of cool. What else are we supposed to have on a rover? Post down in the comments what you think we should put on this rover, because I don't know. Maybe put anything. We could truly put anything we want on the rover. I think we'll probably put a gun on there somewhere. We are fast running out of uranium here. I don't know how much we had a second ago. I think we had 100, but let's grab 5 of it. The nanites are really, they really use up power quite a bit. They eat it for breakfast. It's crazy. Look at all of them. Do you see them? Oh my gosh. And those guys as well. Oh my gosh. But they're going to do this stuff, so they definitely do help. I definitely like the little nanites, even though they're crazy and power hungry. Here, have some uranium, and we should be good to go. Oh yes, we are definitely good to go. We're going to have to change some things first. Suspension should be good since we haven't actually messed with it, but we are going to need to change some of the other stuff. So if we press I, for instance, we're going to go to control panel, and we're going to change the wheels so that they have less power. So we're going to go with 20% power. I think should be fine. Thrusters, I'm going to turn them off and on, I think. Okay, there we go. This is pretty good. You know, this isn't that bad. But I mean, it really goes. So if we press V, we can actually see where we're going. It really likes to go. So I just tap it a little bit, and it starts like immediately launching. But if I turn on the thrusters, so let's see. We'll go to K. We'll grab the thrusters. Put those in a group called thrusters. Thrust, I guess. Press G. We're going to grab these thrusters, and we're going to see if we can toggle them on and off. So if we toggle them on, look at that. That is like super speed mode. But honestly, this thing's moving pretty decently. Oh, watch out. We do not want to flip this thing. Although we do have a gyroscope, so if we launch in the air, we should be able to kind of do some twirls. Here, let's try it. Fly a little bit, do some twirls. Yeah, okay, so we can definitely do some twirls if we want. But I think it's pretty good. This is definitely a good thruster. We should probably change some stuff about the appearance of it. So we should add some kind of armor blocks on the side and that sort of thing. But I think it's a pretty good start for a thruster, for a rover. And it's definitely kind of cool. Another thing that I guess we could add for a rover is thrusters pointing upward, or no, pointing upward, that keep us kind of on the ground, just in case we're worried about flipping over, just like that right there. So the thruster would keep us kind of leveled to the ground. Let's add some lights, because I can see that we're lacking there, because I was not able to see very well. Turn these around, and we're going to stick some lights. I really want to stick them. What if you stuck them on the wheel? No, I really want to stick them kind of up here, maybe. Just a front light like that, because I think we're going to change a lot about this right here. And in fact, we can do that right now if you guys want. We can. Yeah, let's do that actually. Let's change a little bit of the front. So we're going to cover this a little bit. And we're going to kind of go down from there. So thruster, or rover rather. We're going to do something like this. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Give it 2, like that. We're going to use this piece. Actually, no. Use this one right here. And then up top, we're going to use that piece. So the number 6 piece that we had just now, we're going to use it like that. And we're going to do this one. There we go. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Another reason I wish I had copycat tool or whatever it's called. So use that piece right there. And we're going to use the other one, the other side, kind of down here. So flip that over, and there we go. It kind of looks like a wheel well at this point. That's pretty much what we're going for. All right, welcome back. I've made some edits to the rover here, and we've also decided on a name. As per a random number generator of all of our patrons who have not been used in a Space Engineers video yet, we have come up with Bubby Boy. So the ship will be called the Bubbymobile. I think that sounds cool. It kind of rings, the Bubmobile. Bubbymobile. I'm trying to decide on Bubmobile or Bubbymobile. I think the Bubbymobile. Bubbymobile. It's kind of a tongue twister almost. The Bubbymobile. So we're going to go with the beacon, and we're going to call it the Bubbymobile. So Bubbymobile. That's so awesome. And Bubby Boy is one of our most active Space Engineers players as well, which is so cool. So the Bubbymobile is now active. Let me show you what we've done to it. We've done quite a bit. Hit the parking brake so it doesn't move anywhere. Wait, which one's locked and which one's unlocked? I guess now it's parked. Okay, this is the Bubbymobile. We have changed a lot of the stuff about it. So we added like kind of a front, a nice little front thing. We added like a wheel well on the sides of the wheels so that they actually look like wheels. We got some lights on the front as well. We got some red with a lot of black. Some cool little design on the side to make it look like something cool. And we've got a cool little design in the back. Maybe it kind of looks like it's got a trunk or something like that. But in reality, these are the actual trunks. The cargo containers are where you would store things if you want to bring them from point A to point B. So this is the Bubbymobile. If we want, we might go ahead and add like some sort of connector up top. So we might like flip one of these cargo containers around so that we can add a connector up top, and that way ships can kind of land on it and connect and that sort of thing. But the Bubbymobile also acts as a sort of power hub, I guess you could say, because it's got this nice little large reactor which can pretty much generate a lot of power very easily. So if we do add that connector up there and we have a ship that's low on fuel, they could just land on this thing, which would be acting as a mobile power station. So let's see how well it drives still, because I don't know if it's going to still drive very well now that we've made a lot of changes that increase the weight and that sort of thing of the Bubbymobile. It definitely looks like a lot more of a ship than it did before. Before it looked just kind of like a skeleton, because it was essentially. So got the it looks like Batmobile every time I look at it. So we got the Bubbymobile. Let's turn on thrusters, see what happens. Oh, look at that, and we're gone. We're out in space now. We are essentially off the moon. Oh, there we go. That was dangerous. Oh, come on, bring it back. We might want to add a couple more gyros. Otherwise, we're going to end up flipping this thing. Let's turn off the thrusters so that we do not end up flipping this. You can see Big Red over there as well. Big Red looks kind of like Small Red from this angle, doesn't it? I don't know. We might add some guns on the Bubbymobile as well. I don't know where, but maybe we add some turrets or something so that it can also act as kind of like a mobile defense kind of thing. So we could drive it around and it would shoot stuff if it needs to. None of you guys have commented on that yet, on that thing and how we use that. So maybe I'll have to go and do some research to figure it out. But this thing is almost fully built. The nanites have been hard at work, and look at it. I mean, it is, for all intents and purposes, it is built. Look at this. I mean, it doesn't have any like interior or anything in here, but like no connectors or anything, but it's pretty much built, which is super awesome. We just need to add a couple of lights and I think it'll be good. They've also been working on building out a little bit more of our base. Let me pop back into first person just so I can put this thing up here. I might need to increase the power actually, because it's having a little bit of trouble driving around on the moon. Oh, we hit our wheel. Hopefully it did not take our wheel out of alignment. I don't know if that's a thing in this game, but it is in real life. We're having trouble turning left. Turning right, we have no problem. Look at this. We can turn backwards, but when we want to go left, that's where the problem is. All right, parking brake on, and we are good. We are out. Let this thing continue to drive. How much power does it have? 21 days. Perfect. That's exactly what I want to see. All right, so yeah, it's been completing stuff. It didn't complete these yet, but we can just go ahead and complete those manually. No worries there. It did complete a lot of these right here. So we now have a lot of large cargo containers that I didn't even plan on having completed for a long time. But that is now complete. Looks like we ran out of some of this stuff right here. So it looks like we're also going to have to go and mine some uranium. Luckily, we do have some remaining power from there. Since that's out, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to turn off the nanites so that they don't drain all of our power, because that would be bad. That would be a very bad thing. We wouldn't be able to have any of our stuff working, which we do not want to be the case. So it also looks like they got one of these working, which is kind of weird that they didn't work on the one over there, but I guess it's fine. Let's go to our assemblers. We'll go to assemblers number 9 and number 10, and we'll tell these guys to do their thing. It got this whole line set up. That's pretty awesome. What's in our production queue right now? Nothing really. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna keep setting these right there because the nanites are using that stuff like crazy. Did they get any refineries? No, they did not get any refineries done, but they did add a lot of materials, I think, to these refineries so that they can get done later. But anyways, I think that's where we're going to end the episode. The base is coming along really well. We've already got our first hangar, and it's not that big, but it can support a couple of vehicles and maybe even a small ship if we want to get it there. But we do plan on having a much larger hangar at some point as well, so that one will only be the beginning. Our launch pad is not even close to being built, but I guess once we start getting some uranium, which is probably what we're going to do next episode, we'll be able to turn the nanites back on full force, and they'll be running around fixing this stuff up, which will be good because that'll allow us to land most of our ships in here. But anyways, if you liked the episode, please hit the like button, put your comments and your suggestions down below. Also, specific comment if you know how to use this thing, how to use it properly at least. I mean, because I don't know. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next episode of Space Engineers Let's Play!